Hello everyone, and welcome back to Porter's Playbook. Today we are going to be looking through the business threats of Apple Incorporated through Porter's 5 forces. Now, I'm sure many of you are familiar, however, for those who are not, Apple is going to be one of the leading global technology companies that specializes in computer software, consumer electronics, and a wide range of services. Apple is going to compete in the smartphone market, the personal computer market, digital services, and more. The 3 threats. The first threat I would like to cover is the threat of new entrants. The threat of new entrants is especially vulnerable for Apple because Apple is such a large and refined company. Having a higher overhead, such as salaries, bigger buildings, obviously the Apple headquarters in Cupertino, California, they have to charge a little bit of a premium. And because of that, newer, smaller, more budget options such as Xiaomi, Huawei, OnePlus, Motorola, you name it, can all compete with their lower cost products. Now, to an Apple loyalist, this doesn't really mean too much. However, for those people on the fence, that lower price tag may justify not having those blue bubbles in that FaceTime. The next thread I would like to cover is the bargaining power of suppliers. Being a consumer electronic company, computer chips are especially valuable. At the end of the day, it's going to be the brain that powers all of their devices, and because of that, these suppliers, these manufacturers have a little bit of leverage. Companies like TSMC can kind of control the market and can short Apple, halt production, and even back order some products, which can really throw a wrench in Apple's plans. The impact of this is going to be higher costs and then supply chain risks that affect their profitability, which could also affect the stockholders. And Apple is actually being quite proactive about this, and over the past couple of years, they've started manufacturing their own chips. I'm sure you've heard of Apple Silicon with their M1 through 4 chips being put into their iPads and their MacBooks. And then you also have their A series chips, which are used for the phones, and then those lower tiered iPads as well. The final threat I would like to cover is the threat of substitutes. As I said earlier, Apple has quite a few services that they offer, such as Apple TV, Apple Music. However, one service that they offer that isn't quite a service is going to be their ecosystem. Everyone talks about the ecosystem, everyone says that they're too involved in it, but at the end of the day, they are going to have competition, right? Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, Spotify, YouTube Music, right? All of those are going to be competition for their streaming services, and the Android ecosystem is quickly catching up to Apple and kind of putting them in a little bit of a hard place. This could reduce Apple's service revenue, and their ecosystems would not lock people in as much, which obviously leads to less revenue over time. Conclusion. I hope you all have learned a little bit about the threats that Apple can face using Porter's 5 senses. We tackled only 3 of them today, however, the other 2 are still very alive and real threats for Apple. And I hope everyone enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe.